Morning Weather Focus followers, it's Steve here, giving you a look at the weather for the UK for the next week and then a look at the longer trends for the week after that. It's a little bit of a sneaky peek 2 weeks into the future. It's unsettled, but we'll start where we usually do, looking at the central England temperature. And April has started mild again. Look at that, 11.5 is the average so far up to the 7th, and that's 3.6 degrees above the long term average. The warmth just goes on and on, doesn't it? And the reason for it is that really we've had low pressure to the west of the UK and higher pressure over Europe, and it's just resulted in southerly breezes coming up from the continent. We've had one or two fairly warm days recently, just a sure sign that the calendar is moving on. We are in April, and yet spring is definitely in the air on some of those days, but spring is not in the air today. We've got one of these troublesome areas of low pressure that's pushed a little bit further east this morning, very deepening, well, a deep area of low pressure pushing up across southwest England, across the Midlands, out into the North Sea, is bringing a very windy spell of weather for some. Not all, but certainly to the south, it's been windy. And here in Folkestone, we've got a bit of a story. Our bedroom window, it blew out in the night and now is stuck. The window faces west southwest, so it's been a bit of a wild old night. We're waiting for the man to come. He's just recently fitted the window to see if he can basically sort of unloosen it and get it back closed again. Fortunately, it is dry and we're not getting too wet at the moment. But the gusts have been high in the south. Isle of Portland, you received a gust of 63 miles an hour. 52 miles an hour at Langdon Bay, just up the coast from the south. So, yeah, it is a bit below, but many stations across the south coast are in the low 50s, and that is reflected in that Met Office weather warning. That is valid until 9 o'clock this morning. Things will gradually improve this afternoon. Look at the radar. It is wet across the UK, lots of rain, especially across parts of Wales, southwest Scotland, and some more persistent rain across the eastern half of Scotland. Elsewhere, it is cloudy. There's lots of pockets of drizzly rain. It's a very unpleasant morning, and temperatures really are no great shakes today. I think at the moment they're varying between around about 6 and 10 degrees. Right, let's take a look at the UK as a whole for the next week, and we'll just see what's going on. Are there any signs of improvements? Well, as I mentioned, not today. This deep area of low pressure currently sitting over the Midlands will push out into the southern North Sea this afternoon and take a lot of the rain and the showers with it. But yeah, we're not out of the woods, certainly across eastern parts of the UK. Overnight, we bring in a slight ridge, so a dry night, clear night, and potentially quite cold. I would have thought a touch of frost is on offer for many parts of the UK, especially towards the east before the arrival of the next band of cloud in association with tomorrow's rain band pushing in from the Atlantic. So this is how we wake up in the morning. It's dry for most of us, but the cloud will be thickening up, and already there will be rain across Ireland, parts of southwest England and southwest Wales. Pushes forward through to midday tomorrow, and that rain has pushed quickly across the UK in a windy southwesterly again. So, yeah, potential gales again on some of those western coasts. Push that out the way tomorrow, and then low pressure still remains to the northwest of the UK. Those isobars remain tight, so we do stay windy. Overnight into Thursday, a band of showery rain will push southeastwards. Once that clears by dawn on Thursday, I think Thursday will be a generally brighter day, but there will be a scattering of showers, especially in the earlier part of the day, before they tend to die out. But yet, you've guessed it, look towards Ireland towards the evening. There's more rain and more persistent showers starting to push onto those western coasts. But many eastern parts of the UK, Thursday is looking like a relatively dry day, as is some parts of the south. There are some improvements on offer as we move through Friday, so we keep this westerly flow going. We'll have a look at the temperatures. Temperatures do pick up later on in the week, so that is one positive. But yeah, summer it is not. It's still plenty of breeze around, and on Friday, once again, there are showers, more especially to the north of the UK and across Ireland. But further south, You're closer to a ridge of high pressure, I noticed, 1030 millibars over France. So, yeah, things are a little bit settled, more settled, particularly across England, Wales, and those temperatures will be improving. Across Scotland, though, on Friday, further rain or showers. You're still under the influence of low pressure to the north of the UK. Push forward into the weekend, the status quo is maintained. We keep the westerly flow, we keep higher pressure to the south, so always the best of the driest and the brightest weather across the south, but there will still be the risk of showers. And even on Saturday, a more persistent spell of unsettled weather with rain and potential hill and mountain snow will push across Scotland. But just notice as we move through that weekend, we lose the southwesterlies. We start to draw that breeze into a more westerly and then a northwesterly regime, and that will start to lower the temperature. So I think by the time we reach Sunday, there you go, you've got high pressure still to the south, so relatively dry across the south, bright, and the mildest temperatures. But over Scotland, look at that, lots of showers, lots of rain starting to push in, and this heralds a change as we move into the early part of next week. This is the end of Sunday. By sort of Monday, that low pressure starts to transfer into the North Sea once again. We start to pull down air from the northwest, colder air, sunshine, showers, wintry over some of those northern hills. And then we just move this forward through to Tuesday next week. Although there is a slight ridge trying to push in, it is cooler. There are showers around, particularly around the early afternoon periods. The land will warm up, and that brings in the risk of those showers. But the air will be cooler, and these showers will still be wintry, particularly over northern hills. So, yeah, not out of the woods just yet. There is still some signals for colder weather. But we'll take a look at the temperature trends, certainly for the next sort of week or so, and you'll see. Just bear with me one moment. Let's get the anomalies up and we'll just see how these temperatures behave. So we go back to today. We know today is a cool day. It's a showery day. It's very unsettled with that low pressure around. This is tomorrow, so still temperatures somewhat below average, but by Thursday, we start to draw in that southwesterly air mass. And just notice these reds across the eastern parts of the UK, their temperatures well above average. So by Thursday, you could be seeing temperatures in that sort of mid to high teens range, a little bit cooler elsewhere. By Friday, we keep the mildness going across many parts of the UK and Saturday as well in many parts of England and Wales. But cooler air will be starting to infiltrate from the west as we move through the day. And then Monday, as we've seen, that colder northerly flow starts to infiltrate, turning things a little bit more unsettled. In terms of your maximum temperatures, just quickly going through the week. So we'll start with today. We'll start looking at the maximum temperatures. So today, I think the charts are basically really underplaying some of these temperatures. But as the week goes on, I think we'll just push forward through to Thursday. Just notice the sort of like the mid to higher teens. That's Thursday. Move forward to Friday again. Milder air, always to the east. Temperatures closer to average over the west of the UK. Take a quick look at the trends in the next 2 weeks as things stand. This is the picture this morning, the 2 metre temperature. So that warming trend is maintained up to the 13th. But as we've moved into the early part of next week, by Sunday, Monday, the temperatures do drop away. This is also replicated in Manchester. You've got that warming trend this week, turning quite cold early next week. Look at that. Temperatures typically sort of in the sort of like the 6, 7, 8 range, maximum in sort of mid-April. That is a chilly temperature. And if we move north further still, well, there you go. The northerly is well signalled, isn't it? Next week, temperatures will return below average after that warmer sort of interlude at the end of this week. And for your snow lovers, well, there's still a little bit on offer. This is Aberdeen next week, probably in the form of sort of afternoon wintry showers. But even in Manchester, look at that. Even you guys are in with a shot of perhaps seeing a little bit of wintriness in those afternoon showers up there. Further south in London, well, not much of a signal. There never seems to be these days. But yeah, just comedy value really for the south. So that's it in summary. Unsettled this week, often mild, turning milder towards the end of the week, drier across the south, particularly the second half of this week, but turning colder for all start of next week, with the risk of some nighttime frosts returning. Hope you've all found the forecast useful. I'll be back again on Friday, but in the meantime, have a lovely rest of the week and ciao for now.